Well, hello and welcome to a very warm but very blustery Burghead. Well, hello and welcome to the Moray coast. Well, good morning and welcome to a super blustery Moray coast.
This week's video is a special one because we're off on not one, but 3 outings to the coast. Yes, that's right, 2 trips to Burghead and 1 to Hopeman, on a quest to photograph the world of harbours. There will be boats, fascinating rocks and beautiful turquoise sea. So let the adventure begin, and may this video bring many ideas and inspiration your way.
Well, hello and welcome to a very warm but very blustery Burghead. Today I've come down here to the harbour to do an exercise that features in my new ebook Connecting with the Coast called Nature and Man-Made. And it's all about exploring our relationship with the natural world. And harbours are a really interesting place to do this. So without further ado, let's see what sort of interesting images I can create today under this theme. Look at the sea. I hope you can see on camera just how green the sea is. Wow. What a beautiful colour. I often find when I come onto location that it can be exciting to simply walk around and see what I can find to photograph. But sometimes it can be really good to have an anchor in the form of an exercise that you can follow. And this exercise about nature and man-made, I think, is a really good exercise, particularly to explore somewhere like a harbour, because that contrast, as well as the harmony between nature and man-made subjects, is very, very prominent.
It certainly is prominent, and not only visually, but these wonderful man-made environments also open us up to experiencing the connection between man and sea. Before I begin creating images, let me share the exercise from the ebook.
So this exercise comes from page 85 of the ebook, and it's called Nature and Man-Made. Look for compositions that speak to the harmony or contrast between human presence and the natural world. This could be a fishing boat heading out beneath a dramatic sky, a weathered handrail alongside crashing waves, or a seagull perched on a man-made bollard. Ask yourself what the story is in each frame. How do the human and natural elements coexist? Create a series of images that tell a narrative of industry life combined with raw beauty. The thing I love about this exercise is while it gives you a clear and defined thing to focus on, there's so many different ways that you can interpret this exercise. And being somewhere like a harbour, there's so many different photographic subjects that you could photograph under this theme. So I'm quite interested today to see which ones I choose to photograph, because we've got the wider harbour landscape with the vast sky and the sea surrounded by the man-made structures of the harbour, but we also have so many intricate details, like I'm walking past crabs' claws and shells that are scattered all over the ground here.
Although I could see many opportunities this morning, I didn't do much photography. However, one thing that did interest me was this.
It's interesting, I'm sitting here right now and there's these 2 poles in front of me. One is street lights. I'm not quite sure what the other one is, but I think there's a little light a bit lower down on it. I guess it's to try and guide the boats into the harbour. And I mean, it's just such a simple and basic thing sticking up here in the harbour. But I love the cloud formations above it, just these very subtle lines of clouds. I really wish I had a polarising filter with me because I can see those clouds really well through my sunglasses. But what I like about this is it's a very minimal sort of image, and every now and again a gull flies past the top of these posts as well, which just adds a little bit of character and a little bit of story. I've not done minimalist photography for a while, so I'm going to give this image a go, see how it turns out, and then head on to the next one.
2 weeks later, I returned to the harbour. Despite the overcast skies, the blue tones in the clouds were divine. I was hopeful that this evening's photography would be more lucrative.
I think this video is really going to showcase the power of persistence. Tonight is my second time out here in Burghead attempting to film this video about human and man-made. And things just aren't quite going to plan. It's a lot busier than I thought it would be for after 8:30 at night. There's a lot of activity in the harbour, and in fact they've cordoned half of the harbour off because they're filming a Hollywood film here just now called The Odyssey, featuring famous actors like Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson and a couple of others that I can't quite remember. So there's a lot going on here, and there's also quite a large group of teenagers hanging around as well. So I've just photographed one image of the boats going out to sea for the evening, for the night of fishing with these beautiful shards of light.
Although not much came out of this evening photographically, there's always so much to be grateful for.
You know you live in a beautiful part of the world when they're filming a Hollywood film here. It just shows how beautiful the backdrop is. Very blessed to live here. And also, it's always such a blessing when I can share these places with you guys. I think the scenery here alone is just lovely to immerse yourself in. Then when you have that added benefit of photography, what a great combination. It's really nice to be out and just immersed in this scenery, watching these incredible shards of light over the sea. They are so incredible. Well, good morning and welcome to a super blustery Murray coast. I've been having a little bit of a rest week this week, so I've not been out in nature quite as much as I normally would be. So despite the breeziness and the overcast skies, it is a real blessing to be out today, and an even bigger blessing to be able to share this with you. Nowhere quite invites you to take a deep breath quite like the coastline. And just look at these beautiful scenes in front of me today. So today I've come to Hopeman Harbour. I don't think this is a location that I've ever showcased on this channel before, but for those of you who came on my recent coastal photography retreats, and for those who used to come on the landscape photography workshops I used to host in this area, I'm sure you will recognise this place. I love taking people here because there's 2 beaches, a harbour and some beautiful colourful beach huts, so plenty of things to photograph.
Sticking with the human and man-made exercise, I focused on the harbour again, and the first thing that caught my eye was this weathered red and white life ring.
One of the things that I love about harbours is how diverse they are, and also how much colour is present on them, like in this life ring here. And especially on days like today where it's relatively overcast and breezy, where there's not too much in terms of like interesting light, I always find finding colourful subjects just brings me so much joy. And I think one of the great things as well about the coast is how characterful everything is. You know, when you come to the sea and you see this mix of how the elements have eroded and shaped the structures and the things here, I always find it so fascinating to see that, you know, the cracks, the decay, the fading of the colours. It really shows a place that is really shaped by the sea, shaped by the weather, shaped by the elements. There's so much power in that, and I think this is one of the reasons why so many of us feel so alive when we come to the coast. It's like this full sensory experience, and today I'm really trying to work with that, showcase the elements here, that natural, wild, rugged place, combined with how us humans have adapted to live and connect with this place over the years. And every single subject, you know, even this beautiful life ring here, you could spend hours photographing this in different ways with all the shapes and the markings in it. Never mind everything else that's here. It's incredible. Look at this interesting rock. I was in Malta last year, and this reminds me of a lot of the coastline there and the rocks that were especially on Gozo Island. And it plays nicely with the theme of human and man-made, because we have this, what I imagine is tar marks on the natural rock. I love these old stone walls. Beautiful. I always find the stonework on these old harbours really interesting. Just seeing, you know, what they've made a lot of these places out of. And of course, as things are eroding, you can see all these little pebbles inside this harbour wall. I've never actually taken the time to properly explore this harbour before. Not this deeply anyway. So it's quite interesting to see this.
As I walked towards the end of the pier, I came across this rusted ladder. If I can recall correctly, I'm sure it was silver when I was a child. The rusted rails and stained stone combined to create a great image opportunity, showcasing how humans have utilised natural materials to create a livelihood and barrier against the sea. I made my way to the end of the pier to admire the vast view before turning round and being greeted with the most spectacular lights.
Look at this! The sun has just come out. Wow, look at the dancing waves. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Look at that. It's fleeting moments like that that makes coming out into nature, and especially at the coast where the weather changes every few seconds often, so exciting. Oh, I just love it when the sun bursts through the clouds and illuminates the world around you, and especially when it's interacting with the sea and dancing like that. My gosh, I will never tire of seeing beautiful moments like that. They light me up so much. The thing is, if we don't head out, we'll never see them.
As I headed back to the car, I made one final image of this painted ring. I loved how the white stood out against the stone. It may have taken me 3 outings to complete this video, but each one brought something special. The colours and sunshine from outing 1, the shards of light and beautiful blue tones in the sky from outing 2, and the many images created in outing 3. One of the beautiful things about exercises like this is that every time we do them, we'll come away with something different. And to end, let's share the image in the ebook that I included to illustrate this.
So this is the image that I showcase in the book to depict this exercise. As you can see, we've got the end of a pier with a small lighthouse on the end of it, with the sea, the sky, and a gull flying around it. That beautiful combination between the man-made structure of the harbour and all the natural elements surrounding it. You could spend weeks exploring this subject alone in one harbour. It's endless, and I hope that this video will inspire you to head out wherever you live, whether it's the coast or whether it's somewhere else, and explore the human and the man-made elements in that landscape, and also to consider your own personal relationship with nature.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to download your copy of Connecting with the Coast, you can find a link below. With almost 200 pages and 16 years of stories, exercises and images, Connecting with the Coast offers a comprehensive guide to help you connect and photograph the shoreline. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my work, purchasing a copy is the easiest way to do so. Thanks again. Wishing you a very blessed and creative week.